In today's world, everyone is trying to be heard. People argue online, defend themselves instantly, and feel pressured to explain every decision. Noise has become normal. But here's the truth: no one talks about real power doesn't scream. It moves in silence. There is a strategy so subtle, so powerful, that most people overlook it completely. It's not manipulation. It's not aggression. It's not dominance through force. It's controlled silence. The ancient Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius led one of the greatest empires in history, yet he practiced restraint in speech and emotion. Epictetus, once a slave, taught that true strength comes from mastering your reactions, not controlling others. Silence is not weakness. It is discipline. It is awareness. It is emotional control. When you stop reacting to every insult, every opinion, every challenge, something shifts. You gain psychological power. You protect your energy. You become unpredictable. This is the silent strategy. No one talks about the mindset that builds success, mental strength, and unshakable confidence. And once you understand it, you will never move the same way again. Silence is not empty. It is strategic. When you speak less, you automatically become more powerful in any room. Why? Because people value what is scarce. If you are always explaining, always reacting, always defending yourself, your words lose weight. But when you choose your moments carefully, every word carries impact. Most people talk to fill discomfort. They rush to defend themselves when criticized. They interrupt when challenged. They overshare to feel important. This gives others information, emotional leverage, and sometimes even control. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private reflections, not public speeches, because he understood that self-mastery begins internally. Epictetus taught that we have control over our responses, not other people's opinions. When someone insults you and you don't react, you shift the power dynamic. They expect emotion. They expect defense. Instead, they get composure. That composure makes them uncomfortable. Silence creates mystery. Mystery creates respect. Respect creates influence. The less desperate you are to be heard, the more people listen. That is psychological power, not through noise, but through control. Your energy is limited. Your focus is valuable. And not everyone deserves access to it. Most people lose their mental strength, not because life is hard, but because they react to everything. Every comment, every insult, every small disagreement. They waste hours thinking about things that don't truly matter. Stoicism teaches a powerful principle: protect your inner peace at all costs. Epictetus said that we are disturbed not by events, but by our judgments about them. When you respond to every provocation, you give others control over your emotions. Silence breaks that control. When someone tries to pull you into drama and you don't engage, you conserve your strength. When people gossip and you stay neutral, you stay focused. When someone criticizes you unfairly and you choose calm over chaos, you remain in power. Silence acts like a shield. It filters what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Successful people understand this deeply. They do not fight every battle. They choose carefully where to invest their time and emotion. Because the more energy you save, the more power you have for what truly matters. Emotional discipline is the foundation of real strength. Anyone can react instantly. Anyone can raise their voice. Anyone can defend their ego, but very few people can pause. That moment of silence before you respond is where transformation happens. It is the space where impulse turns into control. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily not to be controlled by anger or pride. He understood that emotions are natural, but reacting blindly to them is a choice. When someone disrespects you, your ego demands a response. When someone criticizes you, your pride wants to fight back. But silence allows you to step back and ask, is this worth my peace? Choosing silence in heated moments trains your mind. It strengthens patience. It sharpens awareness. It builds resilience. Over time, you stop being triggered by small things. You stop needing validation. You stop reacting out of insecurity. And when others realize they cannot control your emotions, they lose their power over you. Silence is not suppression, it is mastery. And mastery over your emotions is true mental strength. Asterisk in today's world. People announce everything. They announce their goals. They announce their plans. They announce their next big move. But Stoicism teaches something different. Move in silence. Let results speak. Marcus Aurelius didn't waste time proving himself through words. His leadership was reflected through action. His discipline was visible in how he lived, not how he boasted. When you talk too much about your plans, you release the emotional reward before the work is done. You feel accomplished just by speaking, and that weakens execution. Silence protects momentum. When you build quietly, people underestimate you. Doubt surrounds you. Expectations disappear. And that becomes your advantage. Because when the results finally appear, they hit harder. Let them think you're doing nothing. Let them question your progress. While they talk, you build. While they argue, you improve. Noise attracts attention. Silence builds power. In the end, success doesn't need explanation. It announces itself. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not with the world. It is within yourself. And that battle can only be understood in silence. Most people are uncomfortable being alone with their thoughts. They distract themselves with noise, social media, conversations, and constant stimulation. Why? Because silence forces you to confront your fears, insecurities, and weaknesses. But Stoicism teaches that growth begins with self. Marcus Aurelius practiced daily reflection through writing, not to impress others but to understand himself. Epictetus taught that knowing what is within your control starts with observing your own mind. When you embrace silence, you begin to notice your emotional triggers, your negative thought patterns, your hidden doubts, and awareness creates change. Silence helps you respond instead of react. It helps you think instead of assume. It helps you grow instead of blame. The more time you spend in quiet reflection, the stronger your inner foundation becomes. Because true confidence is not built in noise, it is built in stillness. And once you master your inner world, the outer world loses its power to shake you. In a world addicted to noise, choose silence. While others argue, you observe. While others react, you remain steady. While others announce, you build. That is the silent strategy. Marcus Aurelius understood that true strength is calm under pressure. Epictetus taught that mastery begins the moment you control your response. Remember, silence is not weakness. It is discipline. It is awareness. It is power held under control. You don't need to prove yourself to everyone. Don't need to respond to every opinion. You don't need to win every argument. Sometimes the strongest message you can send is no message at all. Practice restraint. Protect your energy. Let your actions speak. Because the quieter you become, the more powerful you grow. And in the end, those who master silence master themselves.